Welcome to our Outlook 2021. 2021 will be the year where hopefully we can say the coronavirus pandemic is behind us, at least to a large extent. But I don't think we will see life pre-COVID coming back very quickly. That's something we have to have in mind. There are three aspects I want to mention. First, the role of the state, from a healthcare perspective and investments in healthcare, but also from a social economic support function. Think of all the fiscal policy we've been seeing. Second, think in terms of social and economic inequality. And third, think from a perspective of how we use infrastructure. And here I mention especially working in home office, but also travel. So far I've talked about the individual perspective. Now let's also think about the business perspective. And again, there are three aspects I want to mention. First, think again of the role of the state. All this support will have an impact on individual companies. Can they survive? Will they survive? Is there a kind of natural selection still happening? Second, with all this support, there will be a main topic in the ESG space. We have seen already flows in this direction, but much more to come, also now from the US with the new president. And the third aspect is again technology. This will be a main driver also for 2021, and that's something also from an investment perspective. Don't overdo it there, but there are specific themes which really are very important for investment. Now, think from a government perspective. There will be challenges on all these government products we've been seeing. First, governments will rely and continue to rely heavily on central banks, i.e. monetary policy. This ultimately raises the question of inflation. That, from our point of view, is not a topic for 2021, but beyond, there could be a slight increase in inflation. And then fiscal policy will come under increasing pressure. Think of all the debt levels which are ever increasing also and continuing in 2021. And last but not least, think from a global perspective. First, we see the continuous rise of China and Asia, also very important from an investment perspective. Then think of the developed economies. There's a huge divergence in the way they grow and their markets grow. And then think from a regional focus more to the multilateral approach, which will be challenged from that perspective. And last but not least, the rise and introduction of digital currencies from the central banks. What do we make out of this? What's the conclusion? First, think of 4D. That's debt, digitalization, demographics, and divergence. I think these 4Ds capture a lot of the investment themes. But if you think here from an investment perspective, we have been seeing that the underlying trends before the crisis have been accelerated by the crisis. And as a conclusion, that justifies and warrants a strategic investment approach, not a tactical one. There are two key components for a strategic approach. First, think of your personal strategic asset allocation. And then secondly, think of long-term themes, key investment themes coming out of this crisis. These are, from our point of view, cybersecurity, 5G, healthcare, think of all the investments they are necessary also for the next years, and then resource stewardship and ESG. Overall, we think it will be a good year for growth from a macro perspective. Think of the base effect we have been seeing from 2020. And then for risky assets, they could be attractive as well, given the environment we are in. But it will probably come with higher volatility. So from that perspective, stay healthy. We are more than happy to support you in 2021 as well, and all the best.